I know this might not be a surprise, but there truly are so many games coming to Gamescom this year. And of course, the whole Xbox On team will be there to take you through some of these and a load more in our show from the booth floor. But in the meantime, I'm going to tell you about what's coming. And if you think I'm exaggerating, just take a look at this lot and then try and tell me that you're not like, oh my God, there are so many games coming to Gamescom. Anyway, I dare you, let's get into it. Let's of course start with the Xbox booth, which will be showing off more than 20 first and third-party games, including the recently released Grounded 2, which most of you probably have played, but if you haven't had a chance, you can always check it out on the booth if you want to. In Grounded 2, there are new biomes to explore, new bugs to ride, new weapons to wield, and of course, new abilities to unlock. Grounded 2 basically takes the original and hits it with whatever the opposite of a shrink ray is. It makes everything bigger, better, and buggier than the first time around. It is a fantastic play that you should definitely try if you haven't already. And Gamescom attendees will get to go hands-on with the game, of course, and players back home can too, since it just dropped into game preview form on Game Pass Ultimate and PC Game Pass, and of course you can buy it if you want to. If you've already played it and you need some more tips to get going, then feel free to check out the rest of the channel, because we've got so many great beginner, medium, and some advanced tips and tricks on how to get ahead in Grounded 2. After 13 years lurking in the shadows and biding its time, the fourth mainline entry into the legendary Ninja Gaiden series will be here on October 21st. And Ninja Gaiden 4 is being co-developed by series creators Team Ninja and action aficionados Platinum Games. So you can expect the fights this time around to be absolutely dripping in style, that is the Platinum way, and possibly we'll have some of the other red stuff on it too. And of course, what this is all about, at Gamescom, you can get your hands well and truly dirty with it with the very first hands-on demo. Massively exciting. And Ninja Gaiden is coming to Game Pass at day one, so if you fancy some old school, side-scrolling Ninja Gaiden action in the meantime, make sure you check out the newly released Ninja Gaiden Ragebound 2. On September 4th, Indy will be heading back to Rome for a brand new DLC to his acclaimed recent adventure, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. The Order of Giants will see players delving deeper into the mysteries behind the towering tribe who spent most of the base game throwing great big hands in our direction. But maybe we'll find out they're actually, very friendly once you get to know them. The team behind the legendary strategy series Age of Empires and its legend-loving offshoot Age of Mythology will also be in attendance at Gamescom. They've promised that they'll be teasing a few surprises, and you can see it right there on the Xbox Wire articles, so whether you're a long-time fan or recently just got interested in world domination, watch this space. Once they'd gotten over the novelty of getting out of the plane and walking around, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 gave players an astonishingly detailed version of planet Earth to go gliding over, and loads of different ways to put their piloting skills to the test. And it's about to get even better with the new city update. It's got a new aircraft and even some new exciting challenges, all on the manifest for Gamescom 2025. Ahead of its Day 1 Game Pass release on October 29th, the Outerworlds 2 has lined up a theatrical presentation to educate players about one of the game's most powerful factions, the Protectorate. This authoritarian bunch are big on security and not so fussed about freedom, so don't expect the show to be a barrel of laughs. Then again, this is the Outerworlds game, so maybe do. Much like loads of what we're talking about in this video, the Outerworlds 2 will be play anywhere from its Day 1 release, which means that you buy it once, or play it through Game Pass, and your saves will appear across Xbox, PC, and cloud. And if that ain't futuristic, then I don't know what is. Of course we have to talk about this one. Hollow Knight Silksong has been at the very top of a lot of gamers' wish lists for a hot minute or a hot century. So they'll be delighted to know that the game is set to come straight to Game Pass later this year, and if they plan on being in Cologne during Gamescom, they'll be even delighteder, if that is a word, to know that there's going to be a playable Silksong demo. Not only that, but the demo will be on the ROG Xbox Ally and the ROG Xbox Ally X, so you'll be able to play this new game on a new handheld. It's just very exciting. So, is this your most anticipated game of 2025, or do you have your heart set on something else? Let me know in the comments, and we might feature some in a future video. Now, let's take a look at the many more games that are playable on the booth. Next up is Borderlands 4. Borderlands 4 will be bringing another billion or so guns to Xbox gamers on September 12th, and Gamescom will give them a chance to get to grips with some of that new hardware. The fourth game takes place on an all-new planet and features a formidable new villain known as the Timekeeper, and I'm betting that they didn't get that name just from being very punctual, so you'd best grab a couple of like-minded buddies and get ready for some shooting, looting, good times. Onimusha is one of the OG action series, a kind of like pre-Dark Souls if you will, and the recent remasters of the first two games reminded us all why it's held in such high regard. The comeback continues in 2026 with a brand new entry called Onimusha Way of the Sword, which looks set to combine classic samurai action with cutting-edge technology to make something pretty darn special. listen very carefully, you can hear the slight shuffling sound of a man crawling under a cardboard box, and that is Metal Gear Solid sneaking back into this video and our lives with this stunning remake of the third game. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater features completely reworked visuals, new mechanics, and some hilarious mini-games, and you only have to wait until August 28th to play it, and I am so excited for it, even though my favourite Metal Gear Solid is Metal Gear Solid 2, and I will fight you all in the comments over that. Now, speaking about another game that Benny and I fight over, that is EA Sports FC 26, which will be kicking off on September 26th, perhaps after being driven onto the pitch by a little remote control car. Anyway, the new entry comes with all sorts of AI upgrades and mechanical tweaks, as well as 2 distinct gameplay modes. One for competitive multiplayer, like me, and one for absolute football realism. So football fans all up and of all stripes will be happy, except of course for those who support Manchester United. Has your life been low on adorable little creatures with silly names and great big anime eyes? Well then fear not, because the creature-catching ARPG Animo is on the way to put things right, of course. And since it's going to be part of the Xbox Play Anywhere program, you'll be able to fill all the devices in your life with cloud sheep, mecha dragons, trumpet-nosed seagulls, and things of that nature that sound completely made up. Far be it from me to call this supernatural, story-driven adventure a liar, but there do in fact seem to be quite a few ghosts at the ground. Misleading monikers aside, this first-person game looks like an absolute blast. You renovate a hotel while fending off unfriendly spirits and enjoying some toe-tapping tunes at the same time. It's a game like no other, and it will be coming straight to Game Pass next year, so you'll be able to try it without needing to think, have I got the money to? I've already got Game Pass. It's such great value. As the old folklore told us, with great power wash comes great responsibility, and we'll be fulfilling that noble duty once again when Powerwash Simulator 2 arrives later this year. The sequel features complex, multi-stage jobs for players to tackle, alongside some handy new cleaning tools to help them get the job done. And if you want to make sure that your cleaning skills are up to the scruff, then the original Powerwash Simulator is available on Game Pass now, and it is absolutely fantastic. It is so good, you have to play it. Final Fantasy fans are about to get the best double dip at Gamescom, with 2 titles set to make an appearance. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade offers a lavish remaster of the 7th game, complete with Cloud and his preposterously giant sword and all of his strife. And then there's the action-packed Final Fantasy XVI, which replaces those classic turn-based battles with dazzling real-time scraps. We, as Xbox fans and as Final Fantasy fans, are finally eating good. The greatest blue and yellow superhero since Banana Man, Invincible is getting his very own arcade fighting game next year called Invincible Versus. It'll feature tag team showdowns between a stacked roster of characters, along with an all-new story for players to enjoy. You know, when someone's not slamming their face first into a train. Super Meat Boy is back, and he is, of course, looking meatier and beefier than ever, and ready to start in his first, yes, 3D platforming adventure. With a whole new dimension to play in, you can expect Super Meat Boy 3D to be as every bit brutally challenging as the original game. And if you haven't played the original, it is very tough. It's got deviously designed levels, epic boss fights, and oh so many buzzsaws, and this could be the game to test your skills in 2026. I just need to let you know that I definitely won't be playing this game because I'm a massive scaredy cat, but if you like horror, you should listen to this. Chronos The New Dawn is a new third-person horror game where your worst enemy is apparently going to be time itself. A PvPvE action RPG. Try and say that 5 times and get through it. It's much easier to say Misful Hunter drops players into a fantastical world where they have to decide whether to work together or go solo. You'll get loads of freedom to build your class just the way you want it, but the best chance of getting out alive still comes from working together, or from making other players think that you're working together. You'll see what I mean. On top of all these playable demos, there is also the small matter of Call of Duty Black Ops 7, which will be officially revealed on Gamescom opening night, and I'm very excited for this. We did get a glimpse of it, though, at the Xbox Games Showcase, and this suggested that we're going to be seeing something that we've never seen before in the series so far. Although one thing it does have in common with the last Call of Duty game is that you'll be able to play it day one on Xbox Game Pass. Now, finishing up with something really exciting that we've already alluded to, like the devious teasers we are, and that is the fact that Gamescom 2025 will give gamers their very first chance to get hands-on with the ROG Xbox Ally and the ROG Xbox Ally X, aka the Xbox handheld. And these sleek handhelds have been built in collaboration with Asus to deliver an incredibly high-quality gaming experience, along with the flexibility that you get from a Windows device. And they just look very cool too. Gamescommers will get to try them out with the aforementioned Hollow Knight Silksong, as well as Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4, Roblox, and Sea of Thieves, all available to play. Now, of course, there isn't room for every Xbox game on the Xbox booth, so there will be other Xbox titles on display at other Gamescom booths. First up is Path of Exile 2, and if you're very much into that, they are introducing a new special boss rush event where players have to chop down as many big bads as they can in 20 minutes. It's sure to get everyone even more excited about what's in store for them when the game has its full launch as a free-to-play title sometime in the future. Publicly playable for the very first time, Windstorm, The Legend of Kimori, is going to be taking players on a horseback ride across 13th century Mongolia. So if that's on your bucket list, look out for it in 2026 or in Cologne 2025, as it is very much playable. The Blood of Dawnwalker made a splash at this year's Xbox Game Showcase, and the vampire action RPG will be baring its fangs again in Cologne. They're even bringing some spooky decor and creepy cosplayers to help get, everybody relaxed, everybody in the mood, everybody feeling creepy and spooky. Little Nightmares 3 adds online co-op to its petrifying puzzle platformer mix, so we're looking forward to sharing some scares when it arrives on October 10th. Maybe trying out the hands-on demo at Gamescom will make it slightly less scary for me, even though I was quite scared playing Little Nightmares 2. Oh, of course, how could I forget? The team that gave us Little Nightmares also have a brand new horror game on show called Reanimal, which has a playable demo of its own that looks set to give us some nice big nightmares too. Tora and the Guardians of the Sacred Tree is a colourful roguelike adventure featuring local co-op, spectacular combat, and yes, a variety of rather fabulous cats. It's going to be playable at Gamescom, but you don't have too long to check it out if you can't make it, because it will be released on September 19th. Resident Evil Requiem is going to be scaring us all silly once again next February, and Gamescom attendees will be treated to the very first playable demo of the 9th entry in this legendary horror series. Speaking of legendary horror series, Silent Hill F will also be there. There's a lot of horror going on at Gamescom, and no doubt it'll be bringing all sorts of psychological terror packed neatly into its little school bag. A new trailer is going to be shown off as part of Gamescom's opening night live, and then the full game will be released into the world on September 25th, so non-Gamescom goers won't be safe for too much longer. Last year's Gamescom involved the exciting announcement that the free-to-play sensation Genshin Impact would be coming to Xbox consoles. In fact, it went so well that it will be back this year to give players a look at the new Nod Cry region, which is a good name because I'm actually nodding and crying about this news. Sticking with the horrorverse for a minute, the Zenless Zone Zero will also be there too, with the urban fantasy RPG celebrating its very first anniversary by hosting a live event where attendees can get themselves recruited as real-life mystery investigators. South Korean publishers Krafton will also be giving us the old 1-2 with their both gentle, good-natured life sim, Inzo, and their decidedly less gentle and good-natured battle royale, PUBG Battlegrounds, which is set to make an appearance. Inzo is in early access on PC and is now set for an Xbox console release once it fully launches, and Gamescom attendees will be able to check out a new demo showcasing a new relaxing resort-themed destination, while PUBG players will get to take part in intense 1v1 arena showdowns. I haven't played PUBG for a minute, I probably should pick it back up at some point. Crimson Desert will also have a shiny new playable demo, no doubt showing off more of the action RPG's crunchy combat, stunning vistas, and the kind of dragon attacks that would make Daenerys Targaryen say, "That's a bit much, isn't it?" The game is scheduled to release later this year, so you'll all be able to judge that last bit for yourselves. The Gothic 1 remake will give loads more players a chance to check out a real hidden gem of a fantasy RPG, starting with those who swing by its booth at Gamescom. It's playable too, so Gothic gamers will be as ecstatic as Goths are allowed to be. You'll be able to find out once and for all if Rome really was built in a day with the city building sim Anno 117 Pax Romana, which is stopping by Gamescom with a playable demo before it releases on November 13th, or November X and then 3, whatever they called it. After spending some 5 years in development, Capcom's bonkers sci-fi actioner Pragmata might just be the very definition of worth the wait, especially if you like badass robo-soldiers and weird little blonde kids with sort of hacking powers or something. Anyway, gamers will get their very first chance to go hands-on with this spectacular third-person actioner at Gamescom. Now, I don't know if you've always dreamed of slaying zombies in medieval Birmingham. Well, now you can, because God Save Birmingham is set to reveal its very first playable public demo at this year's Gamescom. I wonder if it features the ballroom. Anyway, on top of that, we'll also get a look at the sociable stick-swinging sequel Golf with Friends 2, and we'll be checking in with both Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 and Atomicrops to see what new content they've got lined up. It's ideal if you're, all about slaying orcs and protecting crops, which I know lots of you are. Finally, Gamescom 2025 will feature a celebration of all things World of Warcraft, along with the official unveiling of the beloved MMO's newest expansion, Midnight, which introduces, and I'm very excited for this, the housing system. But I have no idea what mortgage rates are in Azeroth, or Kalimdor, or Icecrown. I hope they're good. And if there was a title you were hoping to hear a little bit more about that I've not spoken about, or you're just good old gaming greedy guts who always wants more, then Xbox has actually promised us that they're going to have some partners that have got a couple of surprises up their sleeves for Gamescom 2025 too. With all of this and more on the way, you'll definitely want to tune in to all of the Gamescom 2025 coverage from Xbox On and do that right here. And we will start from opening night live on August 19th. And I'll see you on the next video.